it's kind of crazy. It's all winding down now. I just want to thank you guys so much for the support, and let's go Mountaineers.
Let's go.
But as Derek said, in the history of West Virginia University, there's been over 60 Mountaineers. The number that we say is 65. Might be a little debatable, because back in the 20s and 30s, we don't know exactly who some of these guys were that did this job, that took on this responsibility. What is the Mountaineer? The Mountaineer is the symbol of not just West Virginia University, but this great state of West Virginia. Symbolizes so much of the qualities of the people of this wonderful state. The independent nature, the self-reliance, hardworking nature, but also the friendly, welcoming nature of the people of this state. As I said, I had the privilege to serve in that capacity for 2 years. But the important thing about the Mountaineer is that it's not about the person who serves in that capacity. The Mountaineer is a position that is occupied by someone for 1, maybe 2, and in a couple of instances for 3 years. But you move on, but the Mountaineer is still there, representing this state, this university. And over time, those responsibilities have changed. Back in the 20s and 30s, the Mountaineer came along, went to football games, some sporting events like that. The Mountaineer was not what you see today. It was not like Troy over here wearing these buckskins with the coonskin and the rifle. It was jeans and a flannel shirt. Not what you picture now, the iconic image of the Mountaineers standing in front of the mountain there.
Welcome, everyone. As the Mountaineer, I will practice academic and personal integrity, value wisdom and culture, foster lifetime learning, practice civic responsibility and good stewardship, respect human dignity and cultural diversity in order to become a more meaningful member of West Virginia University and the society in which I live. I dedicate my energy, my talent, and my intellect to these standards of excellence. There's one man in this room that knows why I just said that. I didn't write it. That is the Mountaineer Creed. And that rigorous process of taking that interview in and 14 people in the room was a gentleman by the name of Steve Staffolino, right there in the back. And he asked me the question, do you know the Mountaineer Creed? And if so, please recite it. And I said, no, I don't know that. So I felt like a good interview, but I felt so bummed that I did not know this part of Mountaineer lore. So the first thing I did when I left my interview was I looked up this creed, I read it, I printed it out, I put it on my wall, and I read that thing 3 times a day when I woke up and when I went to bed. So now it's ingrained in my head, so thank you, Steve. I was thinking about one thing, and it relates back to the interview and the process of being selected to be the Mountaineer. All the Mountaineers in recent memory that I know have one thing in common. They didn't become the Mountaineer on their first attempt. And I think that's really important, because it's not so much what we do, but how we respond to times of adversity.
Troy, congratulations on a fantastic 2 years. We will now move to our 2018 and 2019 mascot. If you would please, pass the rifle over to Mr. Trevor Keish, your 65th Mountaineer.
I look out in the crowd this evening, and I see people like Raymond Cloud, Michael Garcia, and Brady Campbell. You guys are my idols growing up. The kid from West Virginia doesn't get any better than this. I'm not going to choke up, I promise. But you guys are my role models. And to now be considered in the same category as Hugh Gentleman and Troy, It means absolutely the world to me. And this is the greatest honor in my life. And I can call you proud over the next year, and I'm really looking forward to serving the university and the entire state in this role, for sure.